say, oh, right down here. And somebody goes, no, 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 no. She wants to go over here. And this person's like, no, 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 not there. Right. And the next thing you know, there's an argument around you for the best place to get
absolutely. And
chicken
you do best
or whatever
to
it is
crawl
you
away.
want. And people are very helpful. I have
That's interesting.
Time.
It's interesting they bring that up. Woody Allen capitalized on that in, I believe it was Annie Hall, in one of his films, when they're waiting online and they're discussing some obscure film point, you know, and
everybody's
someone
got an opinion.
someone online, and then Woody Allen calls over, of all people, Marshall McLuhan. He's in the film, and he gives his opinion
That's
as
wonderful.
well.
That's wonderful. I want is Woody Allen the one is famously quoted as saying people from New York think that people who live somewhere else just can't be serious? Is that it?
I wouldn't be
Something
surprised.
like that.
I wouldn't
don't
be
know
surprised.
If that's exactly right, but I think
he's the quintessential New Yorker.
Isn't he?
You know.
Isn't he? Well, I'm definitely going to come down to visit you in New York sometime soon and spend a little time there because I've been down, you know, for one day, in and out, see my agent, get back on the train and leave, and I haven't been down for a little while. So I'm going to use this as an excuse to come visit you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now I see that, believe it or not, we're getting near the end of our time. Can you believe that? And I'm going to ask you to read an excerpt from Too Hot for a Spy for us, okay?
I'd be delighted. I'll have to set the stage.
Oh, and she's right near, see, she's way past where I've read. Okay, but it's all right. I'll be hearing it for the first time, too.
Olivia the spy has completed 12 weeks of training and with 5 other men. And there is a meeting of all the instructors to decide whether these people are worthy to pass. And each one in turn, each of the men in turn are passed. One man must take the codes and ciphers test over again. He didn't do well. And when they come to Olivia, one of the instructors says, fail. And it stuns the room, and they ask, well, what should we do? And another instructor says, seems a pity, she worked so hard and she has so many good qualities. And they decide to give her one more task. The reason this person failed her was because she has difficulty following directions.
Sounds like anyone we know?
Right,
okay.
Right. And after giving it some thought, Mrs. Honeycutt, who failed her, says, Fairchild, and they're all called by their last name.
Of course.
Fairchild detests scrubbing the kitchen galley on her hands and knees, an odious task for anyone, I must own. We could request it of her once again, and if she refuses, she fails, but if she agrees, she passes. A murmur of approval sweeps the table. Fine idea. It's a good for her own good. It isn't personal. Put it to a vote, and it is voted that she must scrub the floor. Jenny, the scullery maid, helps her into her costume and hands her the scrub brush and the pail and a pair of gloves. Thank you, Jenny, Olivia said. You're a dear. Now leave me to my task. She took the pail out to the pump and filled it. Back in the kitchen, she hung it on its hook in the fireplace and waited for it to heat up. When the water was warm enough to dissolve the harsh soap made with lye, but not too hot to burn her hand, she carried the heavy pail to the back stairway, got on her knees, and began to scrub the black and white tiles. After each small section, she wiped the suds with her rinsing cloth, wrung it out, and fell to her knees to begin another part. She was not surprised to see the spymaster waiting at the pump for her. Her tongue was coated with acid when she addressed him. Have you come here to witness my humiliation or to gloat? Which is it, sir? He's already fallen in love with her by this time.
We We knew that when we met him at the beginning, and he was so awful. We knew he was going to fall in love with her.
This was not my doing, my dearest love. She put her hands on her hips and growled like a rabid dog. Oh no? Too bad, sir. I was about to thank you for arranging such a delightful task as a token of your affection for me. Well then, here's a present for you, my dearest love. She emptied the pail of blackened water onto him, soaking his buckskins as well as his boots. He jumped back, but not in time. Take care, or I shan't complete your spy program and graduate with my class. And I purchased a brand new gown for the occasion. Too bad. Allow me, he says, as his eyes pleading for forgiveness, as he tries to take the pail from her. Oh no, sir, I shan't allow you to deprive me of my favorite spy task. Not on your life. I take pride in my work, but of course, you may not have noticed.
Oh, she's a pain in the butt. I could see right at the beginning that, oh yeah, this one's going to be a handful all the way through. But I was really enjoying it. Now, this is the first book in a series. You got a 3-book deal.
Yes.
And I asked you how to pronounce his name, and I'm going to ask you again with John
Scognamiglio.
Scognamiglio. And the reason I wanted to mention his name is if the people that are interested in getting published in the book business go to Publishers Marketplace, he's always listed as one of the top deal makers.
Yes.
And he's very sought after. Everybody tries to get their work in front of him, and he's really hard to get your work in front of him.
And he's a sweetheart,
and
but
he's a very nice man, but he's very sought after in the publishing industry. And you got a 3-book deal. So this is Too Hot for a Spy, and this is, what's the release date on this?
March
2009. Okay.
Correct.
And then the next one in the series is
Too Hot for a Rake.
Too Hot for a Rake, and when's that one out?
That should be out in 2010.
Okay, you don't have a month yet.
No, I do not know.
And are you working on that one now, or are you working on the third
that's
one?
already. I'm now thinking about the 3rd book in the series, which tentatively is Too Hot for a Scoundrel.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all part of the family. This is the oldest daughter, the 1st book.
Uh-huh.
The 2nd book, and that was fun to research, is the 2nd oldest daughter.
Which was the
Too Hot for a Rake.
Okay.
That's the one that would come out next year.
And then that we have the youngest daughter for the 3rd book.
No, there are 5 daughters.
There's 5
and 1
daughters.
son.
Oh, so we could keep going.
Well, the interesting thing is the father, the Duke, plays a bigger role in book 2, and I feel almost like I have nothing to do with it. He just does.
Well, when you write character-driven fiction, that just happens.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Well, I want to thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you for having
to talk
me.
to our guests. And if you or somebody you know would like to be a guest on So Many Books, go to my website. That's www.toniandrews.com. And click on the Contact Me link and send me an email and tell me a little bit about yourself and your books, and I'll be in touch. Thanks very much for watching tonight.